Hi, welcome back to JayhawkJukebox. I'm Andrew,
And I'm Graham.
and today we're going to be talking about our songs of the week. So if you'd like to start us off, Graham.
Yeah, so I picked West Coast Collective by Dominic Fike. He's kind of got like a genre-less style, or at least that's what I've heard people say. It's definitely hip-hop and a little bit of rock focused, at least in this song.
Yeah,
What'd you think of it?
it was very unique. I really loved listening to it. I've definitely never heard of him before now, but I don't know. I totally get what you mean when people say that he's kind of genreless, because listening to that, I was getting so many different vibes. It was just, I don't know. One moment I would think it was one thing, and then the next it was just something completely else, and it's just really interesting.
Yeah, and the rest of the EP is like that. I mean, you talked about different vibes. There's hip-hop, there's some that are really focused on the rock, there's some that lo-fi is, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so remind me of what you
Right.
picked.
So I picked Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top. It's more of a classic rock song. I've been getting back into all that. Yeah, there's no special reason why I picked this song. Just, I really love it, especially the opening guitar. It's just,
I
gets the
forgot how much I love that riff.
yeah, I know. Really gets the blood flowing. But yeah, no, just been getting back into my classic rock roots, and this is one of those songs that, I really loved back in the day. Wow. And, I just kind of forgotten about it. But
So what drives you to continue listening to this song?
you mean this song specifically?
Yeah. Or ZZ Top.
That's a good question. It's a really good song for driving at night. I love listening to this, just driving. It's hard to explain, but there's just something about it that just keeps me going.
Oh yeah, well I know I said Dominic Fike, great artist. Whenever I'm just trying to chill, like after like a test, finals week is coming up, so that is going to be heavy in my rotation. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah.
Anyways, so maybe what other ZZ Top songs have you gotten really into lately?
Well, I'd love to talk about that, but actually we're going to be moving on.
Oh, there's a fist up in the air.
All right, well, we'll catch you after our break.
What's Hawkin' Hawks? It's the trio back here, and we're going to be talking about Christmas music and our Christmas picks. I'm Hayden.
I'm Audrey.
And I'm Johnny.
So let's get it started. We got some top 3 songs for our little Christmas list. So let's start with you, John, over on the left side.
All right, so Polar Express is my all-time favorite Christmas movie. So let's make sure we all know that.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with When Christmas Comes to Town.
Okay.
First of all, I don't know what like hit me in my childhood, but it really like it resonates. Like I don't know, maybe
It wasn't a
if I didn't-
traumatic hit. It was a good.
It was
hit.
a
I think
good
we should get. Okay.
It was
cool.
a good hit. Yes. My second one, same album, Believe, same soundtrack. Josh Groban, his voice. Where did it come from? I'm kind
I
of
don't
like
know. It's
offended.
amazing. Good
Maybe it
voice.
was made by elves.
Gotta be.
On Christmas Day.
Gotta be.
Probably.
Oh. And my third one, oh my God, I didn't forget. My third one, oh, Justin Bieber. Come on.
Duh.
Fa La
Come
La.
on.
Fa La La featuring
Okay,
Boyz
but
II Men.
what about Drummer Boy?
Drummer Boy. You know
Come
what?
on, that rap.
Is this old Bieber?
This
Or is this a new
Yeah.
Bieber?
It's like 2007. Or no, that's too old. 2010?
I don't remember, I'll be honest.
I don't know.
I was in
But-
middle school and elementary. I don't know.
The
Is
Bieber's,
that when that was?
the Bieber's in his R&B bag in that,
That's
so.
R&B.
The rap in that is just so funny to me.
Yeah.
I have to say that. It's
And
just so
Busta,
funny.
is he Busta Rhymes in?
Yeah,
Busta
yeah. But like
Rhymes with
Justin
young
Bieber,
Bieber?
but like
Yes.
Justin
Lord.
Bieber's rap is just like iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good. It's bad.
Speaking of
So bad, it's
iconic.
good.
Okay, so I have kind of a weird little mashup that I found on the scapes of YouTube. It's a mashup between Playboi Carti's Rockstar Made and Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was showing it to some of the staff here on JayhawkJukebox before this, and I kind of got mixed reviews. Audrey kind of just started laughing and then making fun of it, which hurt a little bit inside because I thought Cardi x Carey was one of the most like crazy collabs I'd ever
No,
heard.
don't get me wrong. I love Cardi. It's just sometimes when you hear his voice, you have to laugh a little bit, and
Yeah,
especially
that's
when
fair.
you're putting it with Mariah Carey.
Okay, but
That-
when I'm hearing All I Want for
like-
Christmas is a rock star made, like it's
Just little
kinda hard.
randomly. I'm like, I was like,
Cardi
what is
X
this?
Carey,
Cardi x Carey.
like,
Yeah.
those don't, I
That
mean,
never happened.
The alliteration works,
it does.
so I think
It
it's I
does.
think it's got potential.
Yeah, I
Further
have
on.
to listen to it again because I listened to it and I was like, okay, I
It's-
love Cardi.
Played it in the car.
It's a track with some
I bet
layers.
It's some
I'll
layers?
give it that. It takes a couple listens to really understand
Okay.
everything underneath it.
Gotcha.
What were your other songs?
And then I had Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms. That's just kind of a classic. You know, a little guitar riff at the beginning
Mm-hmm.
gets it a little light mood. I love it. I love the older singers. You know, that old like 50s, 60s
Mm-hmm.
kind of singing. It's always really nice. That's nice. And then I had what was it?
Not all of us forget.
Oh, and then I had All I Want for Christmas. No. Last Christmas by Wham.
Last
My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I kind of like Wham, and I just need a little 80s synth pop in my stuff, so
course.
I had to mix it up a little bit.
You know, the first time I heard that was on Glee.
Really?
That's a shame. It's a shame. I know.
You don't like Glee?
No, I love Glee.
Oh.
But like the first time I heard Last Christmas.
I was like,
Glee
whoa.
Glee
No.
version over every normal
Rachel
version.
Berry, come on.
Come on.
Lee Michelle. All right.
She's problematic, but we like her.
Number one for you, Audrey. Let's
Okay,
see.
number one for me, Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande.
Yep, the queen.
You already know I was going to choose an Ariana Grande
Yeah.
song, and
Uh-huh.
it's Santa Tell Me. That song is so good. I
No
have
one
it on
talks about
repeat.
it.
I know. When we were
forgot about it
talking
until
earlier,
you
all the
brought it up.
guys were
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I forgot that was
Yeah.
like a song." I'm like, guys, come
It's
on,
like,
get with
it's
the
like a
program.
proper version, too. It's
I know.
good.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
She's
We
iconic.
could go on and on.
I love her.
That's really sweet.
And then my second is Underneath the Tree by Kelly Clarkson.
Hmm.
And Kelly Clarkson and Ariana Grande, they're on The Voice together.
Yes.
And Kelly Clarkson just came out with a new Christmas album or EP, I don't remember. And they did a song together.
Yes.
And I didn't listen to it enough, but I listened to it today. And it's really good too.
Yeah, I just listened to like the live version, and it was like,
Yeah,
Like a song or a Christmas song?
Christmas song.
Which one?
I don't know what it's
It's-
called. It's
okay.
like they made it.
Oh,
Like
they made it?
wrote, yeah.
Can't you
I don't know
tell
if
me
they wrote
Christmas?
it, but
Can't
Can't
tell
you
me
tell
something?
me?
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. It was better.
Yeah.
It was cheesy than that, but it was like, yeah.
yeah.
It was
You
a
sure
bop.
it was better? That was pretty good.
Can't you tell me Christmas?
I mean, I would listen to that.
You know what? I might make that.
I
Can't
might
you tell me
make-
Christmas? I don't know what it's gonna be the.
Put JayhawkJukebox in the studio. See what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go. I'm
There you
down for it. But like, yeah.
And
I
then-
love Christmas.
My third.
Well, yeah, your third.
Yeah.
I was like, I actually remembered
was
my
thinking-
We're
third
gonna
guy.
disregard that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no,
Okay, but
uh-uh.
honestly, my third is just like anything from Michael Bublé's Christmas album. But specifically, I'm always that girl that anytime I listen to an album, like front to back, I always just end up loving the first song out of any. I don't know why. I like always am
intro.
like, what's your favorite song? Oh, the intro, or like, oh, the first song on the
100%.
album. But It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, just really gets me in the mood. Even though I listened to it today on my walk to campus and it was just like, 70 degrees out. I'm like, yeah, it's beginning to look a
Shout
lot
out
like
Global
Christmas.
Warming.
I know, right?
Bublé's voice. I thought Groban's dope, but
Well,
then
he
you
did
get a
a
Bublé.
version of Baby It's Cold Outside a couple years ago, I think, too, and I can't remember who it was with, but it was right when that song
Bublé?
was getting taken off air, I believe. But it was actually like a pretty good version, too. That was pretty close to the original. I think in some respects it was better than the original, who I can't remember for the life of me who it was by.
Yeah.
But, Michael Bublé just kind of slayed it.
Yeah.
Definitely. He's a classic Christmas dude.
Isn't there a Baby It's Cold Outside? It might be a wrong song, but Ariana and what's her name from Victoria's Secret?
You're okay. I know what song you're talking about. Liz Gill's.
Liz Gill.
Actually,
But it's
yes.
Santa Baby.
Santa Baby.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
Yes, that's a good song as
Why
well.
does Christmas have
And
so
all
many
of the
songs?
Ariana's like EP of the Christmas and Chill or whatever.
Yes.
You
We were talking about
Christmas
that
and
briefly.
Chill?
Yes.
think
Have you
that's
not
what it's
heard
called.
that?
No.
Go
Okay.
listen to it.
Why?
If you want R&B,
good.
Christmas,
Oh.
Christmas and Chill by Ariana Grande. Just listen to it.
I do love
So
some
good.
R&B Christmas.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I could go on and on, but you know what? This is not the Ariana show. It's Jayhawk Jukebox. Oh.
Well, that's all we got for this segment. We'll be back after the break.
Most people check their phones 58 times a day. Americans spend an average of 5.4 hours on their phone daily. 51% of users check their phones a few times an hour. Too much time spent on your phone can lead to depression, anxiety, and insomnia. Put your phone down. Your text will be there later. Your friend won't.
From adversity, we rose. We made history and became pioneers, voyagers, champions, Jayhawks. And when our chant rises, haunting and hallowed, Jayhawks are telling the world what's near. Victory.
Welcome back to Jayhawk Jukebox. I'm Audrey.
And I'm Taylor.
And here today we are talking about our Spotify Wrapped.
Everyone's favorite time of the year.
I know. I was so excited. I literally forgot. Like, I'll be honest. I was like, I had no idea that was like, I just didn't register in my head. And I was like, oh my God, yay, it's coming out.
Yeah.
So, okay, tell me about yours. We'll
Okay.
talk about artists.
Yeah, so
Okay.
my top 5 artists, number 1, Taylor Swift,
Of course. Why
which
not?
I'm so
Duh.
happy about because I'm recently a Swiftie within the past year and a half or so.
Did
So,
you get into like her folklore
yeah,
stuff, or
I
is it like?
definitely. I remember
just-
listening to Reputation in high school with my
Okay.
friends. I skipped over Lover because I hated the singles.
Fair.
And then Folklore and Evermore came out, and it was just didn't realize how much I love folk-inspired music.
Mhm.
And I feel like it really goes back to her country roots.
Yeah, I agree.
Then my next artists were Bo Burnham, which is slightly
Yes.
embarrassing,
No, but it's
his
kinda
latest
funny.
special was such a big part of my life and related to me so much, and I was so obsessed with it. And then I was diving back into his past discography from remembering how much I loved his specials in high school and middle school. Then we got Billie Eilish and Lorde, who both released new albums this year that I was obsessed with, playing on repeat. And then Mitski, which is just one of my go-tos. So
Nice. I've
Yeah.
never heard of Mitski.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun artist. To listen to it. So my top artist, obviously, well, I just talked about this last segment, but my favorite artist was Ariana Grande, my number 1. No surprise there. No one knows who I am, but no surprise there for me. And my second was Madison Beer, and she basically took over all my songs too for my top songs, but I'll talk about that in a sec. And then we got Doja Cat, who I recently, in the past 2 years, got into
Yeah,
her.
I love her.
I remember in high school she had a song, I can't remember what it's called, but she had a single release, and I was like, oh, this girl's fun. And then I hadn't heard anything about her until the past couple years. And while she's had some controversy moments, I still love her, and like I just love her music.
Yeah.
It's just fun to bop around to. Number 4 is Drake. What? I didn't know that. I was like kind of surprised. That was my biggest surprise. I like don't remember listening to that much Drake this year, but maybe I just heavily listened to his recent album a lot. And then Megan Thee Stallion, not surprised at all. I love her. One of the great, I think she's like one of the best rappers in the industry right now, like especially being a female in the industry. I just saw she posted she's graduating college in 9 days. I'm like, yes, love that we're graduating around the same time. So your songs, what were your top 5 songs?
My top 5 songs, well, first of all, I listened to 68,950 minutes.
Wow.
Which is 47 days, but that doesn't feel like that much to me just because I'm never not listening to something, but I don't know if this includes like podcast minutes because I also listen to a ton of podcasts.
True.
Top genre was indie pop. Who's surprised? I'm not. Number 1 song, Montero, Call Me By Your Name by Lil Nas X.
Fair enough.
Which I'm slightly surprised by just because like there was a chunk of like 3 or 4 days when it first came out that it was literally the actual only thing I was listening to on repeat all day. Yeah. But I haven't really listened to it that much since, so...
Maybe those minutes just added up.
Yeah, I said I listened to it like 64 times. That doesn't sound like that much to me, but I guess if you really think about it, it is.
Yeah.
And then Good For You by Olivia Rodrigo, which was like another album that came out this year that was like a big part of my life for a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
And then next 3 songs, Motion Sickness and Kyoto by Phoebe Bridgers, which are kind of just like my go-to songs if I'm looking for a song to like throw on a playlist.
Yeah.
And then Video Games, which is a cover of the song by Lana Del Rey.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like,
It's the Lana Del Rey song, but it's a cover by Trixie Mattel, who's a drag queen.
Oh,
and
yes.
It's like a folky version, which goes back into like folk music that I'm kind of getting more into, and like she makes some other like country-inspired music. So, yeah.
Interesting. That's fun. So my top 5 songs, well, let's just say that all my top 5 songs are basically from one album, except for one. So I guess I really just got into Madison Beer's album this year. But my first song, embarrassing enough, was Stay Numb and Carry On. Don't know what I was going through at that time, but that's okay. Number 2 is Sour Times, which is another great song by her. That song reminds me a lot of EXO, but like the XOXO by like Beyonce, or EXO. I don't know, but it has like the same vibe. Number 3 was Need to Know by Doja. That was like on repeat for summer for me.
Like when Planet Her came out, like I'm just like that's one of the best. Like not only we were talking about how much we love Doja and we love Megan, but like both their albums that came out recently, I think are some of the, like the best lately.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did Doja get nominated for anything? I just randomly thought about that.
I know she hosted like the VMAs or something.
Yes.
She just, like had all those weird outfits, but that's really about as much as I know about that.
Yeah, dang. Well, and then my 4 and 5, Effortlessly and Homesick, and they're 2 Madison Beer songs. Homesick is one, I like did that for Song of the Week one time. It's such a good song and has the Rick and Morty thing at the end. I love Rick and Morty, so you know how it is. And then I listened to 42,816 minutes. Who would have thought? That's crazy. And my top genre was dance pop. So that's all we got for Spotify Rap. We'll see you guys after the break.
Let's face it, school can be very stressful. Between lectures, assignments, and studying, it's easy to get overwhelmed and forget to take care of you and your mental and physical health. One way to take a break from all the stress is to get up and take a walk.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
File just fell down. Thanks, Tristan, for not giving us enough time. But anyways, we are here to talk about the replacements. Pleased to meet me. Nathan, this is kind of something different that we haven't really done before. Later 80s vinyl. What were your first impressions of the Replacements? If you have even heard of them before.
I mean, I've heard of the Replacements. You know, you hear a lot of names thrown around when you listen to as much music as we do.
We're just going to lay this down.
Yeah.
I won't stand up.
But I was fairly impressed by it, actually. It's kind of that, it's not into grunge rock yet by any means, but you kind of get into that late 80s somewhat hard rock. At least that's the impression that I got. But no, I thought it was pretty good, especially considering that I obviously haven't heard it before. So I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, this is my favorite Replacements album. I've recently really gotten into the Replacements since I've started my radio show, so I've got through a lot of their albums, and this is the third or fourth time I've listened to this album, and I absolutely love it. One of my favorite songs is I Can't Hardly Wait, or Can't Hardly Wait. What were your thoughts on that song? Because that's the song that I think most people would know from the Replacements, but it's well known for a very good reason. It's so good.
Yeah, no, it was a good song. Wasn't my favorite. I'd say my favorite was The Ledge, because I remember we were listening to it together, and I was actually working on some other things, but I remember that for some reason that The Ledge caught my ear a little bit, and I actually turned around and said, well, what's that? Because I really thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I just want to bring up, Nathan has a song list of the actual songs on this album. This is a copy that I have of alternate outtakes and such on this album. So there's almost every single song on this actually did not even appear on any release until now. Just 3 of these songs from those sessions would appear on this. One song I do really want to bring up that a lot of people, do you know about Alex Chilton at all?
No.
Heard of his name?
I do not.
So Alex Chilton, he was the singer of Big Star, who's one of my favorite bands of the early 70s. Alex Chilton was actually also, this is a song you'll definitely know, The Letter by the Four Tops.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's 15 when he sang in that band.
Oh, really?
So he sounds so much older. He sounds like a gruff old man. But anyway, Alex Chilton became the founder of Big Star and went on a solo career. He actually appears on the song because the Replacements really like Big Star and Alex Chilton's work. So it's a nice homage, and they actually, a lot of their songs in their layers are actually based on other people, not just Alex Chilton. Mo Tucker, who's, if you remember, the drummer from the Velvet Underground, which I especially like.
Yeah.
Do you like these bands showing homage to these other artists?
I do. I think it's a nice little tribute that you get, drawing a blank of what other bands have done this, but it's a nice tribute to be able to pay homage to other bands, to your influences. I think that's incredibly important in the world of not just like rock and roll, but really just music in general, paying homages to your influences.
Right. And I would say through most of our time here, I mean, that's kind of the same thing for us, paying an homage to our musical influences. This is what we listen to. And I think that's great that some of these artists that we listen to pay homage to other people that we enjoy as well.
Yeah.
Well, I want to bring up another song here. We saw this on here. We thought this Red Red Wine, which I originally thought UB40 did, but they covered that. I'm not sure who originally did that song, but we all thought, both me and you thought it was a cover. What were your thoughts on that song?
Disappointing.
Yeah, it was kind of loud, but it was not a cover.
Yeah.
In any sense, it just shares the same name.
I thought we were gonna get to that song expecting it to sound like UB40, like maybe not as much with the reggae factor, but at least recognize a little bit, and it started playing, and I didn't even think anything of it, and then you said that it was Red Red Wine, and I'm like, that's disappointing.
Just same name, same everything. Well, not really. It's very different, not very reggae sounding. Overall, first time listening to Replacements, what do you give for this album?
I'd give it probably 7.5. I probably need to listen to it a little more closely to respect it a little more, but
a good starting point for you?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one a 9.
Okay.
Best Replacements work that I think that they did over their careers in the 80s and the early 90s. Obviously, like you said, they laid the groundwork for those grunge bands, which I know you are a huge fan of, right, Nathan Swafford? Nirvana is your favorite band of all time.
Yeah, no.
Well, that is our second to last ever vinyl review on here.
Well, at least while you're here.
At least while I'm here. That only one more show is left for me. Next week we'll be talking about Lou Reed's Rock and Roll Animal, his first live album. Nathan, we've been through so many albums over the past year and a half. What's been the most enjoyable experience for you going through these, especially the ones that you have not heard before?
I don't really know. It's tough to say. You know, if you want my personal favorite of what we did, I really enjoyed the Stevie Ray Vaughan that we went over. I think that really gave me a chance to listen more in depth to that, but I couldn't pick one favorite.
I agree, and he's someone, and with the Eagles too, someone that we both really like and respect a lot. But that's going to wrap it up for this week's edition of Vinyl Review. We will have one more next week, so stay tuned for that. That'll be Lou Reed's Rock and Roll Animal, and up next we'll have This Week in History with Dana and Grace.
Yeah, I always just clap in this part.
This is where everyone's talking amongst themselves. Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to do it?
Are we supposed to smile?
When do we start? Somebody over here already started.
Can we talk about the piccolo part? It's the most complicated one.
It is. If you listen, you're doing it when the band's not playing.
You have to tell me when it starts. I still don't know.
Here we go.
Just clapping now.
No humps.
Nailed it.
I practiced this morning.
Karma's just two people.
It has a right and a wrong way of doing it. No. Wrong.
I like my way better.
I don't know how
1,
to do
2,
the
3,
end.
4.
It's just I don't know the
Sorry.
head.
It's hard by yourself.
Welcome back to This Week in History. I'm Dana.
And I'm Grace.
In 1958, Johnny Cash made his debut on the U.S. country chart when his single Cry, Cry, Cry made it to number 14. His next 7 singles would all make the country top 10 chart with I Walk the Line and There You Go, which both hit number 1.
In 1969, during their North American tour, the Rolling Stones played their first of 4 shows at Madison Square Garden in New York City. The group played for over 55,000 fans over the 4 nights of events.
Also in 1969, the Monkees made what was their last live appearance for 15 years when they played at the Oakland Coliseum in California.
In 1973, the Carpenters went number 1 on the U.S. singles chart with Top of the World, which became the duo's second of 3 number 1 singles.
In 1992, Whitney Houston started her record-breaking 14-week run on the U.S. singles chart with I Will Always Love You. The song was originally written by Dolly Parton.
In 1993, American rock singer-songwriter Ray Gillen died at the age of 34 from an AIDS-related disease in a New York hospital. He was most famously known for his work with the Badlands.
In 2001, Beatles guitarist George Harrison died in Los Angeles due to lung cancer at the age of 58. After the famous Beatles broke up, Harrison went on to have a successful solo career and later joined the Traveling Wilburys.
That's all for This Week in History. Be sure to tune in next week at 4 and follow us on our socials on Twitter at Jayhawk_Jukebox and our Instagram at JayhawkJukebox.
Have a great weekend. We'll be back next Thursday for our final show of the semester. See you there.